if you're mad as hell and not going to take it anymore, then chances are you've seen the Oscar-winning movie Network.
And now the story about an anchorman unraveling on air has become one of Broadway's biggest hits of the year, and we are excited to tune into Network with star Tatiana Maslany now. Welcome.
Hi, thank you.
So this movie came out over 40 years ago, but it seems like it's tailor-made for the modern news cycle. Don't you think?
Yeah, and the adaptation by Lee Hall for the Broadway production is so true to the original film and doesn't really take any liberties. It's everything that they were talking about then is sadly what we're sort of immersed in right now in this kind of very documentary sort of feel way.
Yeah, and how did you prep for this role, and has it changed the way that you watch the news?
I feel like I'm Canadian, so I've always had a bit of a, like, you know, outsider's perspective in terms of like American news specifically, but it definitely has highlighted certain things in terms of like the people behind the scenes who are creating the news or creating the story that we're receiving.
Right.
You know, how they sort of, what their mandate is, and that actually exists. And I think we really see that nowadays.
Yeah, and this is your Broadway debut.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
I know. A great debut to have.
Yeah, it's wild. I know. It couldn't be better.
What does it feel like being on stage night after night?
It's always scary.
Yeah.
It's always scary. It's not, it hasn't, I mean, there's certain things that start to feel like, okay, I'm okay with the audience being on stage, or I'm, you know, this scene feels more comfortable or whatever, but it's always scary.
Yeah.
It's like it's the thrill of my life. It's just so much fun.
Do you see your character as a bad person, as a villain?
I don't like to look at her that way.
Yeah.
I feel like this character has been vilified because I feel like there's a real gendered vilification of her because she's a woman in this very like masculine world and sort of like doing things in her own way, albeit not necessarily like the most morally correct things. But she does, I see her differently than that. I have to connect with her on a level that's like, what is she revolutionizing? You know, how is she seeing these stories or the news in a way that is not what everyone else is doing?
Right.
Sort of,
and she's got to have a reason for doing it this way.
She's not just like evil.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, you know, all the video elements to this show make it kind of this one-of-a-kind theatrical experience. You and Tony Goldwyn even do a scene live outside in front of the theater.
Yeah.
Has anything ever gone wrong with that? I mean,
nothing's gone wrong.
Is that a scary part?
We've had like SantaCon happening, so like people like dress in Santa's or Batman's walk by or whatever. Or kids are like looking at us while we make out and being freaked out. But the audience mostly, because they see in the theater, they can see what's happening behind us.
Right.
We don't know what's happening. We're just lost in each other.
You just do your thing. And you all also have audience members like very close to you while you're performing inside the theater. What
on
is
the
that
stage,
like?
right?
So they're eating a 3-course meal or whatever on stage with us.
Silverware's
There's clanking happening in opportune times. It is and it isn't. I mean, it's so I mean, the whole show is distracting. The whole show kind of puts you in this, the audience and the actors, in this sense of the kinetic way that we take in media right now, in that there are screens everywhere. There's cameras everywhere. There are, you know, close-up shots and wide shots and action happening on stage. There's audience members sitting there. Brian, you know, has interaction with them. It really puts you in this sense of like the way that we consume media,
like overstimulation.
Yeah, so that kind of becomes part of our experience as actors, and I think the audience experience too.
Yeah. Well, you know, most people know you from Orphan Black. You won an Emmy for playing all these different sorts of different clones. Did you have one favorite that you got to play?
Yeah, there was one character who was Helena. She was like a serial killer from the Ukraine. And
you miss her?
I miss her. You know what I mean?
All right.
Something cathartic and
all right,
she ate a lot, so I was happy to play her.
There you go. All right, well, you can catch Tatiana in Network, playing now through June 8th at the Belasco Theater. For tickets, head to networkbroadway.com. Thanks so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.